Is competition more important than training, or training more important than competition? Question dropping from Shannon. Listen, Shannon, thanks for dropping the question. I appreciate you reaching out and following me. Listen, which one is more important is going to depend on what your goals are. And that's the bottom line. I talk about goals significantly and quite a bit every single time. I speak to my students quite a bit. Be prepared, know what your goals are, be focused on your milestones, what you're chasing. If competition jiu-jitsu, if sport jiu-jitsu is your goal, competition will give you irreplaceable experience, which will speed up your learning curve. However, if competition or sport jiu-jitsu for the matter is not important to you, well, that experience might not be as useful. However, I will frame it this way. I believe that everybody should compete at least one time. There is, regardless whether you are professional, amateur, hobbyist, or maybe you even don't have any interest whatsoever in competing. What is important, what is critical, that experience we gain during that moment of competition, the conflict that takes place between two individuals trying to achieve similar goals but in opposite directions, is critical. It's huge, irreplaceable. I recommend all my students to compete at least once. Now, after one time, if you choose not to do it again, life is good. At the same time, I don't force my students to compete. Not everybody is ready to compete. Not everybody wants to compete. Not everybody has those goals. So some of these decisions are on you. But when we take this at the face value, what benefits are we gaining from competition, and what benefits are we gaining from training itself? Well, one, training itself is more like a lab. We are learning new things. We are educating ourselves. We are making adjustments and changes. We are dialing things, tuning things in. We are asking questions. We are exploring. We are finding things that don't work, or maybe we want to do better. The moment you go into competition, it is a test time. It's midterm. This is it. It's typically 5 or maybe 7 minutes, depending on your experience level and your rank. But there's not enough time. And after that round is over in the competition scenario, it's done. It's over. There's no redos. There was no. I take it back. I wanna do it one more time. It's done. It's sealed. So it's an ultimate test of what we have in front of us, or who we have in front of us, and the skills that we deliver at this point of time. Don't forget, one of the most underestimated parts of jiu-jitsu is the mental state. The things that we learn and the skills that we develop in the academy, on the mat, that's one thing. But showing up to a competition and performing at a certain expected level under stress, anxiety, while everybody is watching you, is not easy. This is why a lot of people don't compete. This is why a lot of people prefer not to do it, simply because of that environment, that test. And yet I encourage you to do it. Whether you win or you lose, it's not as important. But what you really take away from it is the experience that you will never get anywhere else. You will not get the experience of facing another peer that you might not even know in a scenario or raw engagement where your skill, your mindset, and your strategy will be tested to the limit, where things might go your way or maybe they don't. And maybe you have to recover. Maybe you have to maneuver from a point of disadvantage. And if you are able to do it, that test could really open up a lot of the compartments in your mind that would allow you to tap into areas that you would never ever explore if you didn't find yourself in that competition scenario. So, whether you're a hobbyist or competitor or professional, I encourage you to compete. I encourage you to compete as much as you can, but one time would be my expectations for every student. Good luck to you. And if you ever want to dip into this a little bit more, please drop me a line as always. Keep on training. Peace.